All right. Well, hello, everyone. My name is Miranda Joyner, and I want to welcome you out to our March Tech Talk. I'm very excited, and this is, to my understanding, there every day is a thing, a made-up holiday, a thing. But I'm really excited that this is Women's Month. So to be able to celebrate and honor women, I'm glad that our speaker is a dynamic woman in the tech space, but just in the world and in the impact space as well. So, for those of you that don't know, my name is Miranda Joyner, and I am the CEO and co founder of Succeed and Elevate. And my organization works with small business owners to help them with leadership development, financial literacy, and capacity building when it comes to how to expand and grow their business in the best ways. We help people to become better leaders in business so they can run better teams and in turn running better organizations to impact our economy in a better way. That is our goal, our pathway. And I'm really excited to be here to be partnered with the Beam Path in so many endeavors, but today to host our monthly tech talk that we have. If you have not been catching the Tech Talks, they are available. We do record them. You can catch them on YouTube from the ones in the past, as well as catching the replay of this one as well there. And if you're not connected to the Beam Path and you just found us by chance today, please go to thebeampath.org to check out the many different programs and things that they're doing right here in the state of Mississippi to advance technology in our communities. It's very commendable and you should be connected. Without further ado, I want to get to our special guest today and invite them up so they can have all the time in the world. But as always, I want to encourage you, if you have questions, please drop your questions in the chat as she's teaching and talking, and I'll bring them up to the forefront. Also, in true fashion with technology, we had a couple of technical difficulties. So I will be controlling her slides. So anytime you see Dr. Billups looking up to the sky, she's not looking up to the sky for help from from the sky, what they say, the hills from which cometh my help. She's not looking up for help, but she's referencing her PowerPoint that's right behind the screen there. So just so you'll give you a few nuances to what's happening on the screen. But without further ado, I would like to introduce our guest speaker today to have a very fruitful conversation. Now I'll let her introduce the topic and what she's talking about, but please give a warm round of applause in your respective spaces virtually to Dr. Ebony Billups, who is the CEO and founder of Billups Strategies Innovation Solutions. Please give her a warm welcome. It's all yours.
Thank you so much, Ms. Miranda. As she mentioned, my name is Dr. Ebony Billups. I am the CEO and founder of Billups Strategy and Innovation Solutions. I am also the rate data analyst for the whole state of Mississippi for Mississippi Power. A little about myself, I have a doctorate in information system management. I have a master's in the science of leadership. I have a bachelor's in business administration as well as associate in liberal arts. I'm currently enrolled at the University of Southern Mississippi. I'm currently trying to get another degree, which is in accounting. I have a few certifications from Google as well as SAS in reference to coding. And yeah, we can start it with the slides. Oh, there we go. So a little bit more. So today I wanted to discuss, what does it take to be a data analyst? What do they look like from a traditional perspective as well as a non-traditional pathway? Also, what are the opportunities that it open up to you? Because data is just not numbers, but it's the way that we see the world in reference to understanding insights within our organization, whether it's a small business, whether a big business, or even a nonprofit. Next slide. So this is more in depth. These are the topics that I will be discussing today. Understanding the role of a data analyst, understanding what is considered traditional, as well as understanding towards the data analyst perspective, and what is considered non-traditional or alternative routes in reference to data. What are opportunities that is unlocked by a data analytic career, as well as what are the challenges and the tips for aspiring data analysts? Next slide. So what is data? Exactly what do a data analyst does? If you want, you can go to the next slide. So data analyst is basically data is information. This is things that you see every day, is resources that we use every day. A good example is when you look at your checking account. When you're figuring out and wonder exactly where is your money, there's a paper trail. There's a paper trail that shows you of the things that you have purchased. the things that is pending, and even different insights to tell you what is your available balance. From there, that is data. Data is numbers, data is facts. And what a data analyst do, we use this information to create and solve a problem. For example, I'm a data analyst at Mississippi Power. I'm the only data analyst within the state that does rates for us. So oftentimes I get questions to what is needed for us to fix the rates to what it is? What is the problem that is caused by the energy within utility at the moment? But what do this look like from an organization as a whole? What are the findings that I can find that can improve this to where not only does it benefit the organization as a whole, but it benefits the customers to where they're saving in reference to their bill calculation. So some of the core responsibility and skills that you'll look for in the data analyst is data gathering and process. What do that look like? In reference to when I get a data request, the first thing I have to do is gather data. Now, when I get data, this is data all over that's not clean. My main thing is finding the data in reference to the question that is given for me, whether it's a request for data, but finding the exact data and understanding exactly how is this going to be used for insights. And when I say insights, this is in reference to stockholders. This can be to the president and VP of Mississippi Power. This can be from giving information to investors that invest within our companies, or this can be everyday stockholders that I work with in reference to my coworkers. What do this look like to make their job a lot better, to where they have an understanding to where they can move more effectively within their job tasks? So one of the first things that I do is data gather and process. That's collecting and cleaning data to ensure the accuracy and quality of the information is correct. And this is an important step because most time when I'm working with data, I do not want to give anything that's incorrect. Not only is the insights that I'm providing to them, this is insights that go outside of the company. So anything that is provided that's incorrect is called false information, which leads back to having a bad look for us. The next thing is applying statistics. This is interpreting data as well as uncovering meaningful insights. As I mentioned, the data that I'm getting, the main thing I'm asking is, what is the insights that I can give? What is something that's new that haven't been discovered? Or what is something that has been discovered too, I can improve it? The next thing I use is tools. What are tools that's available for us? Typically, when you think of data, you think of database systems. You think of Excel, you think of SQL, you think of Python, as well as visuals in reference to Power BI. Using these softwares is essential for any data analyst. These are things that can make your job a lot easier. Next slide, please. So a typical day for me, as I mentioned, is collecting data. But not only as I'm collecting data, this is just understanding the business dynamic. The next thing is finding a pattern. The main thing is identifying the patterns and supporting it in reference to decision making. The next one is telling the story. How is it the data that I'm pulling, how is this used to tell a story? How is they using this to benefit the organization as a whole? Is this something that can be used to go forward as in reference to new systems, in reference to energy saving, or just anything that can be valuable to the company as a whole? And the next one is team collaboration. Within my department as rates data analyst, I have a very unique department. I am the only data analyst that works with 3 engineers and accountant. Because of this, I'm able to get different perspectives on what my coworkers see as what they consider valuable to the company. In reference to working with engineers, I get to understand how do they use the data that they have to create logic. As reference to me working to somebody in accounting, I get to understand their financial perspective to where I'm able to come together with them to use this insight to create at least a formula to where they can use to identify future insights for the company as a whole. Next slide, please. Okay, so required technical and analytical abilities. So the main thing is you have the technical skills, which in this reference, you have the database, you have programming languages such as SQL and Python, as well as data visuals. As I mentioned, these are very important tools. These are things that I use every day. One of the main tools I do use is SAS, Enterprise EG SAS. I use this to pull the company information. It's also an easy way to use it to where, say if you're new to data analyst and you're not you don't know coding or anything. Say you don't know fully understand how to use SQL or what did it look like with Python. Using a tool set such as SAS, it makes it a lot easier for you. It helps you get the information, clean it to where it doesn't take a long time for you to be able to provide insights that is required from the company. Also, you have analytical abilities. These are just more of like the simple soft skills in reference to where you working to some, whether you're working with a stockholder or you working with somebody that just within your department. These are the things that include attention to details and understanding complex data effectively to where you can provide insights. To me, if I'm being honest, it's important to have the technical skill set, but it's also important to have the soft skills. Oftentimes with me, when I originally started within this company, I was new to coding. And it might be surprising to others, especially with my role as the only data analyst within Mississippi Power. But when I originally started here, my job took a chance on me. I was very honest in the beginning. I told them originally when I started playing with Python. It was something I did for fun. It was something I did to just keep me busy in my free time. But because of that, and my honesty, my job took a chance on me. But because of that, they knew my capability to learn quickly, my capability to streamline new business process, my capability to streamline new data process. To them, I was considered something valuable. So with that, I work very closely with my coworkers. Even now within me having my degree in information system management, my degree didn't actually teach me how to code. This came from me taking time within my personal time, but also getting to know my team in reference to collaboration and knowing the company as a whole to be able to work together and provide the information that is required of me. So when you're looking at this and you're considering which one should I focus on, I would say both, which are critical, but I will also say take the opportunity to focus on your soft skills in reference to the little analytical abilities, because just being curious and taking initiative to just be more effective at what you do, as well as attention to details, this make a difference, especially working with data. You get to see different perspective data, different forms, especially when it's new and you haven't cleaned it and you're just getting it. It's very important that you focus on the details and understanding exactly what is required of you, exactly what are they asking. And because of this makes it a lot easier as you're working and creating the insights that they desire for the company. Okay, next slide. Okay. So what is traditional and what is the pathway in reference to a data analyst? You can go to the next slide. So oftentimes when you think traditional, this is for anybody, whether you're in college or you're still in high school or you're currently an entrepreneur or just trying to transition into a data analyst. Oftentimes when you're talking to somebody, they will tell you, oh, you need this particular degree. Oftentimes the degrees that they do mention is in reference to a mathematics degree, statistics, as well as computer science, as well as economic and business analytics. Now, these degrees are also a great way to start within your data analyst field. If you're new and you have this, using this is just a ground foundation for understanding what is data analyst, what is the probability, or what is the reasoning behind. These type of degrees will give you the foundation that you need to build your experience, to build your portfolio going forth within the data analyst career field. Okay. Next question. Next slide, I'm sorry. You have professional certification and training. You have enhancing credibility, which is increasing your credibility by validating your skills, your knowledge in data analytics and data science. And then you have skills development, which is certifications help to develop specialized skills in situ for data analysts and scientific research roles. And then you have the popular data certifications, which is Microsoft Data Analyst, Google Data Analytics, and SAS Data Scientist, which I mentioned. These are certifications that I have. Okay, next slide, please. Okay. So entry-level roles and internships are great ways to get started within your career field. Oftentimes, these are roles that's overlooked because oftentimes when you get ready to step in a career field, you feel like you're in a higher perspective in your career than you really are. These are opportunities for you to start from the ground, to build your experience, but also get the opportunity to get mentorship within the company or other data analysts within this role. So with this, you have hands-on experience, which is internships, junior roles providing practical hands-on experience. You have skill development, which is also an entry-level position which helps build critical professional skills, which is very critical within the workplace. And then you have networking opportunities. These are roles fostered for professional working, essential for future career advancement. Now, as I mentioned, I'm still new within Mississippi Power. I've been there probably almost 2 years, 2 years and 8 months. I would say one of the critical things, one of the most things that have helped me within this position as networking. I know oftentimes you hear this saying, it's not what you know, it's who you know. And I'm a firm believer. When I started as a contractor at Plant Watson. As I mentioned, I was new to coding, I was new to data. I on my free time, I played with Python as a language for me to understand. But because of my networking capability, I was able to get my name out there. I was able to connect with people on all levels. And when the timing was right, when they found out I was graduating with my doctorate degree, it opened up opportunity to where they actually vouched for me. When opportunity came for my current role as a data analyst, the plant manager himself, as well as other management, actually reached out on my behalf to mention the things that I have done at Plant Watson and previous roles before that. So because of that, I do believe networking opportunity can play a major part within your career development, especially if you're just getting your foot on the ground and you want to make a name for yourself. Take the opportunity to network, build your name to where when your name is mentioned, it's mentioned because of the great foundation you have already created. That way, in case there is opportunities like mine, to where I was hired, but I was hired because they knew my capability to learn. It wasn't exactly what I knew at the time, but because of that investment, I have been a great value asset for them within my role. Okay. Next slide. Okay. So now you have what is the non-traditional and alternative routes within the data analytic career field. Okay, next slide. Okay, so self-learning and online courses. So online learning platforms is popular platforms provided, which is accessible courses for learning data analytics skills at one's own place. You also have flexible and affordable training, which is online courses offer flexible schedules, affordable options, and for continuous professional development. Now for me, within my current role, as I mentioned, coding is still new to me, but it's something that I learned that I love. And I also take an initiative to go further within my education and expanding that growth opportunity. One of the things that have helped me, and I'll be honest, I'm not a gatekeeper. It's a young lady that's on YouTube, and her name is Learning with Jelly. Within my role, I have been very fortunate to work with a department that allows me to take the time for me to fully understand what I'm doing. And because of that, in my free time, I'm on YouTube. I'm researching ways to where I can really understand SAS because that is my primary tool at the moment. But because of individuals like platforms like I am learning with Jelly, I've been very fortunate. She has one-on-one where you could do like course learning, crash learning, or you do 1 or 2 minutes video a day. And because of this, I have progressed a lot within my field. I also have done certification through Coursera. Whether maybe you're more on a budget friendly this year, and maybe tuition is a lot for you right now. Coursera has opportunity where if you catch them at a good time and they have sales on it for like $200 a year. Opportunity like this allows you to get multiple certifications where you're able to learn and practice at your own time frame to where you're not rushed. And because of these opportunities, it's still an opportunity for growth and learning to where organizations like Mississippi Power, they look at that as an opportunity to where you are taking initiatives, like you see more in yourself to where they want to invest more in you. So if you're just thinking of other ways, that's like I mentioned, this is the non-traditional. You have Coursera. You also have YouTube videos. As I mentioned, I Am Learning with Jelly is amazing. She has all type of coding. She teaches you about SQL, Python, as well as R coding. So, next slide, please. Okay. So career transitions from other fields. You have cross-industry skills transfer, which is professional apply their existing domain knowledge from marketing, finance, engineering to excel in analytical roles. And then you have the combining domain analytical skill set, which is success in analytical requires blending domain expertise with strong analytical and technical abilities. As I mentioned, my background is very unique. I have a doctorate in information system management. I have a master's in science of leadership, but I also have 10 years experience of finance. I know hearing this, it's like, how do that connects to data? Well, as I mentioned, data analyst is nothing but numbers. It's insights. It's a paper trail. So because of that, you have some individuals like, well, I never had a role that said data analyst. I never had a role that says I was a coder. That's perfectly fine. The main thing is understanding of how can you use your data experience and how can you translate that into reference to job opportunities. Like as I mentioned with finance, I never had the job title as somebody that dealt with data, but I had the skill set in reference to working with systems, being responsible for managing information that was given to me, being able to create spreadsheets with Excel and formulas from there. So having this experience, I was able to transition that and transition that into my current role to where I already had a foundation to start on. But because of this and using my skills from other fields, this is where it has helped me progress in my current role as a data analyst at Mississippi Power. Same thing in reference to my current company. I do consulting. Consulting is not just the financial perspective, but I also work with clients within the nonprofit industry as well as small business. Because of my data analyst understanding, I'm able to work with them to gather the information they have in reference to their organization to create new insights for them in reference to what strategies are used to create long-term organizational health. These are just the little things that I use within my personal business as well as my current role at Mississippi Power. Okay. Next slide, please. Project-based learning and portfolio development. So the main thing is you want to showcase your practical skills. What do that look like? Well, in this reference, you could build a portfolio which highlights your hands-on skills and particularly experience effectively. Then you have competition for growth. Participating in competition fosters skills, improves visibility among potential employees. And then you also have contributing to open data. Contribution to open data projects, which expand experience and enhance professional credibility. Now, for me at Mississippi Power, I always take the opportunity to where I could do workshops. Because of my role, nobody knows exactly what do I do or how do I do. So oftentimes I set up workshops with different people within my organization to give them a fully understanding of exactly what is data, exactly how does it play a part and how does it connect the organization as a whole. I have been very fortunate within this to where I have been able to present information to our current CEO as well as VP in reference to using the data perspective to understand how can this data be used for possible opportunity with AI going forth within our organization. So if you're new and you're trying to find out a way, how can I stand out for others? This is a great example. Create a portfolio so when you are approached within your company or whether it's in your personal life or company, create a portfolio to where it is broadcast. It is seen. Oftentimes you get asked, what do you know? And on the spot, it's hard for you to think of something at the moment. But if you're already taking initiative to document things, all you have to do is just pull it out and show them. The same thing with competition. Competition is not a bad thing. It's nothing to fear or go away from. Use that and embrace exactly where you at. I know within my role and me taking the initiative to stand up in reference to like people I work with at Georgia and Alabama, I don't back down from the opportunity to show what I know because oftentimes when I do present, it's either going to show me my weakness or it's going to show me what my strengths. But either way, for me, it's an opportunity to show where I'm at within the company or what other opportunity it is for me to learn from others. Same thing with contributing to open data. If there's projects that you know that's going on, whether at school or within your company or even within the community, take the opportunity to get engaged. The more you have exposure to things, the more you have insights. The more you know, the more you can help. And not only that, the more you put yourself out there, you connect to the right people, they will give you the resource. All of this is also considered non-traditional. These are things that people usually don't think about, but it's also the things that can also progress you in your position to be a data analyst. Okay, next slide, please. Okay, so opportunities. What are the opportunities that's out there for you to be unlocked within your data analytic career? Next slide, please. So you have a finance sector. These are opportunities where data analysts drive decision making by interpreting financial data, as well as market trends within the finance industry. Healthcare industry roles relies a lot on data analysts to improve patient outcomes through data-driven insights as well as research. You have retail and technology field, and these are sectors that utilize data analysts for customers' insight and enhancing operation efficiency. I know with me firsthand, as I mentioned, I have over 2 years working in finance as well as healthcare. I originally started off working as a material tech at Select Specialty Hospital. Same thing within the financial sector. I started off as a financial management analyst, which all both of them connects in reference to pulling data. Each job I had, I was responsible for maintaining the data, whether it was in reference to inventory or in reference to financial spreadsheets. These are the little things that people don't think that this is the start of a foundation for data analysts. These are the things that's often overlooked because people feel like they might need a role that particularly say, I am a data analyst or I am a data scientist. These are starting foundations that give you foundation in reference to the tools that I mentioned earlier with Excel or Power BI. Each one I can personally say is the reason I'm in the position that I am now. And most time it's not where you start, it's about starting. You don't have to wait until you get a particular role that says data analyst or data scientist or data engineer. You can use your current role, whether you're in the financial perspective or if you're in the healthcare industry or if you're working currently in a retail or technology field. These are things where you can get firsthand experience and use that in reference to document it even in your resume. Just understanding exactly what you do to be able to translate that to data terms within your resume can make a big impact in reference to standing out and starting the possible start in data analyst. Next slide, please. So advancement to specialized roles, career progression opportunities. Oftentimes, analysts gain experience to qualify for specialized roles, which is data scientist, business intelligence, and management. These are also specialized job roles that is required advanced roles including data scientists, business analysts, and analytic managers with distant responsibility. For example, in my current role, I started off, which I'm still am, a data analyst. But within these roles, I have had multiple opportunities where I've been approached to where I could transition into a data scientist, a data engineer, or even a program manager within a company that requires me to be over a department in a reference to how they use their information system in reference to their data usage. So these are still opportunities that you can use from starting from somewhere to create opportunity. As you advance within the field, advance within your experience, it creates more opportunity for you to get more exposure within your, whether it's your current organization or just taking an opportunity to start within a new field. Okay. Next slide, please. Okay, so entrepreneurship and freelance opportunities. Independent consultant is analysts who work independently offering freelance consulting service to diverse clients across industries. You have starting analytics business, which is entrepreneurs that establish analytics focused business, creating innovative solutions and service and data analytics. And then you have flexibility and verity, which is freelance, which is work that provides flexibility in various projects that enhance skills and work-life balance. As I mentioned, I am a consultant. I'm an independent consultant that use data all the time. If it wasn't for my skill set in data analytics, I don't think I'd be forward within my company. As I mentioned earlier, I'm also a published researcher. Being a researcher, I have to use data to be able to provide insights. But because of my background as a data analytics and also my background with this being within my doctoral program, I have published a research paper that is known on all research platforms, but also have become a global impact in reference to understanding data and how does it help organization and leadership to create long-term organization health in reference to sustainability. So data is not just limited to corporate, or you feel like you might have to start in the corporate role. If you're willing to take the opportunity, it can also lead to other opportunities as in consultant, or just having that flexibility to do freelance in reference to contracts. It don't limit you with opportunity, but it opens doors. The more you understand, the more you advance in your skill set, the more opportunity you have to go in different directions, as in the traditional route and non-traditional. Okay. Next slide, please. So challenges and tips for aspiring data analysts. Next slide, please. So from personal experience, I would say the challenges that I have experienced is not being open. When starting a new role or just starting a new career field, the main thing that I think is critical is just understanding where you at. Be open for feedback, be open for mentorship, and be open to just taking initiative to step out your comfort zone. One of the evolving tools that you mentioned is staying updated constantly with evolving tools, which is a major challenge in many fields today. Working in technology or STEM in general, things are constantly changing. As you can see, AI is like the new it girl for us. It's there, but often people don't know how to use it. Oftentimes people fear it to where they want to step away. In reference to these tools, you need this to progress in a data analyst. Especially as a data analyst, I use AI myself. It might sound crazy, but I'm still new to coding. So oftentimes I use updated tools such as AI to give me an understanding. Maybe it's something that I'm missing within a formula, or maybe it's just something that I don't fully understand, but staying relevant to the tools that's available for us will make a big difference for you in reference to transition to a data analyst. The same thing with handling complex data sets. You want to focus on managing and analyzing these data sets, which require you to have advanced skills and to be careful to details. Anybody that's working in the data field, you understand that you have to pay attention to data. I mean, you have to pay attention to details. There's not an opportunity where I can shortcut myself on my projects, because oftentimes taking that route, which you might consider easy, is the same route that might leave information left behind, to where now I'm in a position where I'm not able to explain this to stockholders. And because of that, by default, now I'm creating opportunity to where my company or even my personal business can lose money in the process. So when it comes to this, as you're getting in the field and you're getting comfortable, I would say continue to take the initiative to stay updated, whether that's finding certifications throughout the timing, whether it's taking the time to learn, whether it's through YouTube videos or mentorship. These are things that's important for you to stay reliable on. Stay within your field to understand. You need to research this and have understanding. Also, staying persistent and understanding how to do problem solving. A strong, persistent, and problem solving mindset is critical for overcoming obstacles. As you're coming within this field, you're gonna be nervous. I'm nervous. I'm nervous now, but you're gonna be nervous. And the main thing is not staying focused on where you at, but also just understanding where you can go within this career field. That it's not just a start for right now, but it can make a difference in what you want to be later on in life. So understanding how to be persistent, understanding how to problem solve, that's going to make a difference within your field. Because the main thing with data alone, data is information. A data analyst is meant to be there to solve problems for an organization. And if you're scared or nervous about solving problems, it's going to be a hindrance for you within your career, as in reference to investment or just being comfortable as a data analyst. Next slide, please. Building a strong professional network. You have peer connection, which is basically working with the people that you see every day, whether it's internal or external. It's mainly focusing on creating genuine connections with these people. I know me personally, as I mentioned, I'm new in the company. I don't know everything. So oftentimes I tend to introduce myself. I speak to people, whether it's on the elevator, whether we're in the break room, or whether I'm in the parking lot. I take the moments to actually really get to know somebody, learn their name, understand exactly what do they do, because the data that I'm pulling within the organization is the data that they need. And if I don't fully have a concept on exactly what do you do, it's impossible for me to help you. But also because of this connection, I have gained a lot of great mentors throughout this process. I have people that have backgrounds that's totally different than what I do. But because of their perspectives on the things that they do in their normal daily activity, it helps me grow as a data analyst. It helps me give a different perspective because being new within this company, oftentimes I think I know stuff. Or maybe I had a current role in a different industry in reference to health or finance, and I felt like, oh, well, I did this, and this is what helped me to grow. That don't oftentimes happen a lot with an organization. Just because you did something at a previous job, it doesn't mean that it's going to work for your next opportunity. So because of these connections I have made with people within the company, I'm able to create a foundation to where I'm able to use their insights as well as the insights that I have developed on my own to be able to create a great foundation to where I am now, to where I have progressed a lot. Okay? And then you have the industry events where you attend conference seminars to help expand your networking and stay updated with industry trends. As I mentioned, take the initiative, step out of your comfort zone, step out of what you consider as norm. Sometimes it takes you to go outside of your company to get different perspectives, especially as a data analyst. Oftentimes, when you use just the resources within your company, it hinders you from growth opportunity because you're using things that is become the norm or things that you're familiar with. With me, I go to workshops all the time, whether it's locally or whether it's in a different state, as in Georgia or Alabama or even Louisiana. I take the initiative to step out to see what individuals are doing in different states, what are individuals doing in different industries. Because of that, it helps me gather more insights in reference to when I am pulling data or how to solve a problem. I'm no longer just looking at one perspective or one way. I have more than one opportunity now. And then in reference to the analytic communities, join communities, whether it's online, you have Facebook, you have Instagram, you have LinkedIn. If you see something that you're interested in and you see something that you want to probably want to do later on, join the communities. Reach out to them, ask them questions, figure out how did they start. What are the skill sets that they felt like that is critical for this role? What are the skill sets that will help separate you from others? But not just that, just stepping out to find a community. Because oftentimes, as you're transitioning into a data analytic role or any role within tech, it's going to be new. It's going to be scary at first. So having a community that's there for support, that's there for resources to help give you in reference to you building your own understanding, it's important that you build on these three things to create that professional development. They're free, they're free, and it's there. It's literally out there for you to use.
Dr. Ebony, I want to jump in here because we have a few questions in the chat before you go to the next slide,
Okay.
just so we don't get too in the weeds with the question. I think they might be in reference to some things you mentioned. I'm going to read them to you so you don't have to worry about looking at them.
Okay.
One of the questions says, a great presentation. Thank you for providing this information for all of us that are inspired and new analysts. This one says, yes, I'm interested in healthcare, in clinical research, and I want to use data analysts to help with my current role. Do you have any advice for them?
Okay. Say it one more time. I'm sorry. You went out.
Oh, I'm sorry. It says they're in healthcare, in clinical research, and want to use data analysts analysts to help with my current role. And they're asking for any advice or guidance on that, I guess.
Okay. I would say, honestly, being interested in the roles, take the time to fully understand exactly what do the roles do. Understanding their daily tasks, what is the requirement for you to grow within that field? And then from there, I'm going to be honest. YouTube is like my best friend. Go on YouTube and look up videos that's similar to that. If you're on a budget friendly plan to in reference to education opportunity, you can even go course error. They give you opportunity to explore different videos in reference to it, the skill set, and it also breaks it down to where it's more understandable for you. My main thing is just research, understand exactly what do they do and how do that evaluate to where you at now? Maybe you already have similar skill set, but it might not be particular pronounce or describe exactly what they're looking for. That was one of the things I dealt with. I wanted to transition into data analyst, but as I mentioned, I felt like I never had a role that said I was that. So I didn't think I would get a job opportunity. But because of my skill set from previous roles, that is exactly why I am here. So fully understanding what the role is asking for, and then understanding where you're at in that skill set that is asking, but also taking initiative to find available resources for you that will get you where you at. It's not what you know, it's about starting. And from there, that is how your opportunity comes. The main thing is just starting. Don't be scared to start. Don't be scared to step out of your norm and ask the questions. Find a community. You can even find a community that does that and ask them questions. Ask them what resources they have, or even find a mentorship that will be willing to train you and give you firsthand experience.
Very good. Another question says, while I know the BeanPath offers Python classes, I have a hard time finding SQL or Power BI classes in person. Are there any in-person resources that you know about?
Mhm. Now, in person, I haven't came across. A lot of my training has been online, through Coursera, but learning with Jelly, she's on YouTube. I literally, I use her every day. I'm not a gatekeeper. I use her every day. She has SQL, she has Python. She teaches you about loops. She even have coding for R. It's literally free, and she teaches you all the coding on there, and it's at your pace. She walks you through it. She tells you the software to use that's also free. And then she also have it to where she has like you can do crash courses, or you can do 1 to 2 minutes a day, or you can do 10 minutes a day. It's different opportunity. But if you want to really learn and you can't find it in person, you can look up her and it's free. And she's really the reason what I know at this moment.
Very good. So there are some requests to include the YouTube channels, like the references for the people that you're referencing. Someone said to put the learning platforms that you're mentioning in the chat, including the YouTube channels, and you can do that towards the end when you're done. I think that'll be a good time to do it. But also, someone asked if you could say their name again. I think they're looking for like correct spelling so that they can make sure they can find these references that you're giving. If you want to provide spelling and maybe entering their name in the chat once you conclude, would be good.
Okay, I can definitely write it afterwards, but it's learning with Jelly. It's Jelly. But I can also write that before it ends.
Very good. So someone asked, and one more question, I'll let you jump back into your presentation and then I'll do the rest when you pause again. So someone asked, thank you. I am 66 years old and I would like to become a mentor in tech. Where should I begin? I am familiar with ChatGPT, Gemini, and Claude. What platforms do you suggest to help me improve my knowledge? I have knowledge of SAS.
Okay. Um, I know this gonna sound redundant, but I'm gonna go back to learning with Jelly. If it's something you want to start from, it's free. I know oftentimes you hear people speaking, they're like, "Oh, you have to do this course that's like $1,000 or something." If you want to learn and it's free and it's very understand, she make it very simple. I would say look up Learning with Jelly. It's very clear. It to me is beginner friendly. As I mentioned, I am still new to coding. I have used her through my journey so far, and because of that, I have advanced within my career probably 4 times so far within the 2 years, and it's really thanks to her videos on YouTube.
Very good. Thank you, Detresa, for dropping the Learning with Jelly link in the chat. And I'm going to turn this back over to you, Dr. Billups, to continue your presentation.
So continuous learning and skill development. You got skill upgrading, which is regularly upgrading skills, which help professionals stay current in industry trends and technologies. As I mentioned, don't get comfortable. Once you get in your career field, whether it's data analyst or any other thing within STEM, once you get in, don't get comfortable. Continue to learn, continue doing the things that got you to that point within your career field. Whether it's doing internal resource within your organization, or as I mentioned, just taking an opportunity to watch a video, whether it's 1 minute or 2 minutes a day, these are critical. One of the things I have learned as a data analyst, you can start code, but if you don't work on that as a routine throughout the week, you can easily forget coding. And that's one thing, you don't want to start and forget everything that you have put forth in reference to growing as a data analyst. So I would definitely say continue to upgrade your skills, continue understanding what is required you within your position or the field that you're looking to. Certification importance. Obtaining certification validates your expertise and enhances your career opportunities in competitive fields. This is something, as I mentioned, so far within my position as a data analyst, I have also obtained 2 more certifications in reference to SAS. That's something that I use every day. So to me, getting this certification also had me stand out to my managers. It shows that, hey, she still want to learn. Hey, she's taking initiative to do what was required her to grow as a data analyst within this company. These are things that management as well as other coworkers look at as well. Project experience. Gaining project experience build practical skills and reinforce learning through real world application. You can learn something, but if you don't put it to work, you can easily lose the understanding that you can easily lose the understanding of what you're working towards. I say if you get the opportunity, whether you're beginning in coding, beginning in data analyst, or maybe you're an expert at your current position, take the opportunity to do hands-on projects. The more you get familiar with something, the more you practice on something, the more understanding you have on it, the more comfortable you get. As I'm coding, I'm able to explain more to my coworkers. As I mentioned, nobody in the state of Mississippi does my job. Nobody in the state of Mississippi knows exactly what I do. So the more I get experience with just working on things, the more I'm able to provide real hand understanding to them, and just knowing that it's okay to make a mistake. That was something that I had to come to terms with me being new within data. You're going to make mistakes. Mistakes are not bad things. Mistakes are actually good because it teaches you. It teaches you where you're at. It teaches you what is your weakness. It teaches you what are your strengths and what are the things that you can go forth with in reference to the mistakes that you have made. So never look at a mistake as a bad thing. That's normal and it's going to happen. If you didn't make mistakes, you wouldn't know your capability. So that's another thing I would say. Definitely do project experience, get the certification, stay up to date because technology is constantly changing, data is constantly changing. The more you know, the more you can adapt to the current trends. The more you know, the more you can adapt to your organization needs. And as I mentioned, continue to upgrade your skill set. Take the initiative to step outside of your company, whether you're using internal resources, but also doing external, because using external resources give you a different perspective on how others does things to where you can use that knowledge as well as your company knowledge to create a foundation for you to use to have more advanced skill set. Okay, next slide. So the conclusion for this opportunity is basically understanding what are your paths in reference to becoming a data analyst. The main thing for me is understanding your data analyst role. Understanding data is everyday information. It could be your checking account. It could be current, like your numbers. You use numbers every day. It could just be anything in reference to understanding how organization or even you within your personal space, how things are functioning. As I mentioned, a data analyst, you use this data to solve problems. That's the main thing for a data analyst, understanding how to solve a problem, understanding exactly how can this make a difference within the organization, but understanding the information that's going forward because the insights that you're providing is the insight that's going to help not just yourself, but the organization grow and create sustainability for long-term organization health. The next one is exploring career pathways. You have traditional education, and then you have alternative training routes. As I mentioned, I have a doctorate in information system management. My degree did not teach me how to code. I had to actually play around in Python to learn on my own. I had to watch YouTube videos to get a fully understanding. But because of that, it didn't limit me to my opportunities. Just because I didn't take the traditional route, I still had the opportunity to get a job within my field to where currently I still have an opportunity to grow. But because of that, I wasn't limited to what I knew. Preparing for opportunities and challenges, building relevant skills and adapting to evolving industry demands, ensuring career growth and data analysts. Don't be scared of opportunities. If projects are presented to you, take it. It's an opportunity to stand to know exactly where you at, exactly in reference to skill set or your understanding. Take that, build your portfolio, start your foundation, and continue to grow. Next slide. Well, this is the end, but this is basically an opportunity to stay connected with me. If it's anything that I mentioned that you have questions, feel free to write me. I'm an open book. If it's any resources or anything I know, I do not gatekeep. My main thing is I like to help others. So if it's anything you have questions or resources I might have that I can share, I do not mind sharing with you.
So I have another question here. It says, thank you for taking the time to share this information. I have a new perspective on getting into data analyst analytics. I'm sorry. And then, so the question up here says, so let's say you're in research, how can that relate to overall data analyst if I want to use both?
I would say, okay, I'm going to tell you my personal experience. I became a researcher through my doctoral program. My research is basically focused on what strategies do leaders in nonprofit and small business industries use to create long-term organization health. Because of this opportunity, I was able to use data. I was the first one at my university to create a meta-analyst research paper. A meta-analyst is basically just a combination of previous approved studies used to prove a new finding for evidence for a fact that I was working on. Because of my understanding with data, because of my skill set, I was able to use that within my research to where I was able to gather the information from these different research papers. I was able to identify the patterns to where I was used to create real-time evidence to where now I have a research paper that's based on evidence based in reference to anybody within a research platform can use in reference to understanding exactly how do that promotes financial change management. So even as a researcher, you still have to use data, whether it's primary or secondary information. This information is still beneficial for you because now it puts you in a position to where you can get the data yourself to have proven evidence, or you can get secondhand evidence like I did to prove proven evidence within your research paper. Did that? I'm not for sure. Did that help her or
Yeah,
him?
I think so. Yeah, if they do, I think they'll do a follow up. But in the meantime, I'll read this other question. I think this is the last one. If you have any questions, this will be the time to drop them in the chat. This question says, what do you think about edX? I signed up for a free platform for 6 months. Do you think the platform is good for, I guess, what they do? I think they asked a question earlier, but just what are your overall thoughts about edX?
So edX, I haven't exactly heard. Can they give me a little bit more information on it?
Maybe I can ask them to tell you a little bit more about it in the chat. So just if you want to give some reference to what edX is, that'd be great. And also, I think this is Taryn. So if you want to unmic Taryn, you can probably verbalize that. It'd be faster.
It has classes you could take online. Um, I feel like any class is beneficial for you, but one thing I have learned, make sure you're taking a class that's in alignment to exactly what do you want to do. I know previous in my past, I used to just take classes because I felt like I needed to take class. But I realized I wasted a lot of money because it wasn't exactly what I wanted to do in my career field. So if you want, if I like Python. Okay, so if Python to me is very beneficial. It also depends on who you're working for. I would say, how can I explain this? I currently know SQL. SQL and Python go hand in hand, but SQL is also more used within the data industry in reference to it can be used in more database systems such as SAS. You can use it within Python too. So me personally, I think Python is good, but also look for something where it gives you the basic understanding and foundation for SQL because SQL is something that you can use in more than one database. It doesn't limit you. And that's also a language that a lot of organizations are looking for because, for example, Mississippi Power, we are currently transitioning to database systems. So that means it requires me to learn different languages. But understanding SQL, I'm able to use that in any database that we use going forward. So Python is good, but also look at SQL. I think that'll be very beneficial as well.
Very good. So someone says, This says class you take online. Okay. And this one says, so is it okay to just learn the skills or do an online course? A degree is not necessary. It's a question. The question is a degree necessarily required?
Um, I think it depends on what organization you're applying for. I had a like as I mentioned, I had a doctorate in information system, but it didn't teach me how to code. I didn't particularly have a degree in coding, but I had certifications that I had got through Coursera, as well as the videos by I Am Learning by Jelly, to where I got a job without actually having a degree. Now, I'm not saying that might be the same for others, but there's you have the traditional perspective and then you have the non-traditional. Oftentimes now, a lot of companies are not asking you to get a degree because there are certifications out there that can give you the same skill set and understanding as a degree. So I think it just varies on what organization you're applying for. Same thing with certifications. I would say save your money and try to look for certification that will be more valuable across multiple organizations. As I mentioned, SQL is good, Python is good. I use SAS here at this organization, but this is the only place that I kind of know of that's using SAS right now. Not saying other places are not, but I know SQL has been a very useful language for me to where I can use it in any database. It doesn't limit me for opportunities.
Very good. All right. It doesn't look like we have any more questions. Uh, Dr. Ebony, this was amazing and clearly very informative. Lots of questions and engagement. And if no one else has any final questions, do you have any final words and also any information, resources, or things that you want to put down in the chat? I'm sure they would love to get that as well from you. But I'm going to give you the final words and then I will close us out. Oh, wait, there's another question. Victoria came in to host the panel. I'm currently pursuing a master's degree in data science. Are you all offering any relevant internships at your company? You better shoot your shot, Victoria.
You know, Victoria, I love that for you. You is not scared. We do co-op programs, and co-op is just basically where you can intern within the summer, and it can go over for more than one semester. And oftentimes, people that do co-op, they end up getting a job. So if you want, if you can send me your contact information, or if you have a LinkedIn, send it to me, and I can ask my job more information, and I can give you an update on that if that works for you.
Very good. And her information is there, so you can scan either there or I'm sure she can drop her email along with the information she's going to in the chat if you happen to be looking at this from your device and maybe can't scan it or don't know how to take the picture and your phone doesn't have the capability to grab the picture. I know technology is moving so rapid with these QR codes. And so I will ask her to put her email address or whatever way she would like to be contacted in the chat. Dr. Ebony, thank you so much. This was so informative. And I'm going to come back on screen now. And also, I want to ask I do love to ask all guests, any guests that I have virtually that offer their time, whether it's to my community or this community, how can we support you in the work that you do in any way? And you're also, by default, not allowed to say there's nothing you can do to support me. So thank you for this presentation. And what can we do to support you? Oh, you're still on mute.
Sorry.
There you go.
Honestly, I'm just thankful for the opportunity. As some might see, I was just very nervous. So if it's anything that I said that maybe I didn't say that you're looking forward to, just let me know. As I said, I'm an open book. I don't gatekeep. My main thing is I like to keep people on a budget. I like to help people save money. So anything that I can help you with, just like Victoria asked about co-op information, I don't know a lot, but I am a person that don't mind doing the research for you and giving you exactly what you need. So I'm just thankful for the opportunity. And if you have any questions or if it's any other resources that I didn't mention or you would like me to look into, I don't mind helping. So thank you.
Love it. Is the southernco.com email a good email to share with the group chat?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to drop your email there. And then also any other information you want to share. So if you want to grab her email for follow up, you could do that there. And any other resources that you want to drop that you mentioned before that you thought were good or names. I know some people were requesting that.
I would say I don't know her personally, but I'll promote her. I am learning with Jelly. that's gonna save you money.
Yeah, you dropped that
It's
link. Is that the only
it's
one? I just want to
free.
make sure there wasn't one that was skipped.
Yes, that's the main thing that I have used besides internal resources that my company use, but Coursera as well. It's a yearly subscription. I got it at 200 a year for $200. You can get as many certifications that you want. It's within your own time frame, so you don't have to rush it. But depending on how long it takes you to get a certification, can also hinder your opportunity for other certification with that. So hey, if you don't want to go traditional route, pay the money for a degree, look at Coursera. There's also other resources online which I can look and share that as well. But Coursera it has universities on there. It has well-known courses on there that you can get certified that's budget friendly, as well as Learning with Jelly. It's free. She give you the database system to use, and she walk you through it so you have firsthand experience with the video and understand it. So them are the resources that I'm aware of that's external outside of my company.
Very good. Well, thank you again, Dr. Ebony Billups. This was very informative. You have been absolutely delightful, and nobody would have known you were nervous if you hadn't never mentioned it because you did an amazing job of relaying the information, and it was evident by the engagement and the comments below. So, thank you for your time. Thank you so much. This information was great. People are commenting below. If you are not connected to the Beam Path, I want to encourage you to stay connected. We do our tech talks every month. They are monthly. Join their mailing list. Make sure you sign up for some of their classes. There are a ton of free classes, as you can see, that were mentioned during this session today and during the chat in the chat space. So connect to something that resonates with you. You don't have to know everything all at once. You don't have to know everything, period. Just gravitate to the things that draw to you and lean into what fits for your personality. But there is absolutely something for everybody at the Beam Path, from sewing to robotics to 3D printing to just the basics of learning how to use Canva or certain online platforms. So you can find something for everyone at the Beam Path, from our senior citizens to our youth. So there's no reason for you not to be connected to all those wonderful things. You can always visit them at thebeampath.org to stay connected. As well as, I want to put this plug out there too. Dr. Nash Lucifus, the CEO and founder, is speaking virtually with our organization tonight in our leadership series that we are doing with Succeed and Elevate. She's talking about how to lead without burning out. It is going to be a great virtual mentoring opportunity, and you can go to succeedandelevate.com to sign up for that and register for that tonight. I think the registration is still open today, so you can still register, and that's this evening at 6 o'clock p.m. Central. Thank you all for being here. And Coursera, there it goes right there. So thank you, man. Detricia, you are the assistant. Thank you for the assist with all of the resources right there. So if you want to grab her email, now is the time to do that, as well as grab that link, coursera.org. Shout out to Detricia. I hope I'm saying that right. Detricia, for doing that and connecting everybody to that over there. So if you were wondering how to spell it, she's found it. All right. Well, if there's nothing else left, you all have an amazing week, and we will see you on the other side of success and technology. Enjoy your week.
Thank you.